There's a place tucked between the trees of Haverstraw, a small little town in New York State, where the screams were never loud enough to be heard, and the silence was never truly quiet. This isn't just another abandoned building. This is where thousands of forgotten souls were locked away, misdiagnosed, mistreated, and eventually left behind. Welcome to Letchworth Village. With over 2,000 of acres of countryside and woodland, Letchworth opened in 1911 as an institution for the segregation of physically and mentally disabled of all ages, from the newborn to the elderly. At its peak, it consisted of over 100 buildings scattered all over the village's land. It was named after William Pryor Letchworth, the businessman behind the foundation of this place, notable for its charitable work. This place was presented to us as a model facility for the physically and mentally disabled, as I said before, as an option to high-rise asylums, and it was revolutionary for its time back then. It had separate facilities and buildings for living and for training of the residents, and at least until the 1960s, it had a self-sustainable system of farming and livestock to feed the community's population. The facility was thought to have had a great potential and was a great improvement from past facilities, surrounded by grounds that created leisure and a pleasant environment for the patients at it. Or at least, that's what it was intended. You may be wondering, where did the downfall start? Let's start. For that, let's roll it back to February of 1950, a time where Letchworth still enjoyed a good reputation amongst health professionals and institutions, despite rumors of overcrowding and maltreatment. Doctor from Letchworth, Dr. George Jervis, asked Dr. Kaprowski to test his brand new live virus polio vaccine at the village to compare it to other alternatives available back then. Dr. Kaprowski had tested the oral vaccine on himself and a laboratory assistant 2 years earlier at Letchworth Village. He gave a dose to an 8-year-old boy, and when he experienced no side effects, the vaccine was administered to 19 more child patients, none of whom are known to have experienced any side effects. And as a matter of fact, blood tests showed that 17 gained antibodies, since 3 already had them. Kaprowski viewed these experiments as a positive first step towards a better polio vaccine. Letchworth was described as an ideal center for the mentally challenged and praised by the state at first. Yet rumors such as the mistreatment of patients and horrific experimenting continued to circulate long after its closing. Visitors observed that the children were malnourished and looked sick. Letchworth staff, they all claimed in the report that there was a scarcity of food, water, and other necessary supplies, but that was absolutely not the case. Children were often the subjects of testing and some of the cruelest neglects. Many of the children were able to comprehend learning, but were not given the chance because they were thought of as different. Patients were forced to dwell in cramped dormitories because the state would not complete the construction of more buildings, so overpopulation was one of the harshest conditions at Letchworth. And by the 1950s, the village was overflowing with 4,000 residents, and for some reason, families of patients seemed to be just as neglectful as caregivers at the facility. I gotta say, this is one of my all-time favorite abandoned places to explore. The first second that you enter any of the buildings, you can feel the atmosphere around you drastically shift, as if someone or something had been waiting to be seen or visited. This one seems to be one of the main buildings, and it has this sort of lobby with 4 hallways. As you all can see, everything here is in decay state. Ceilings falling down, walls and windows collapsing. Furniture is also almost gone, and everything smells humid, like legit. I would have not been able to be inside the building without a face mask. The smell and whatever paint or chemicals were decaying were extreme. Like I was literally able to feel particles entering my nose with every breath. LOL. Despite the stories and awful events, I have to admit it's in some way beautiful to see how nature slowly has been reclaiming back the land. Out here it feels magical, not gonna lie. It feels like navigating through a reverie. But inside the buildings, it's a whole different story. When you enter one of its buildings, any of them, it doesn't matter. They all broadcast the exact same vibe. You feel the pain. You feel the energy loops stuck in this place. It smells like rotten wood, old paint, decay, withering. Throughout my entire exploring session, I kept finding little details that made me question if this place was actually as abandoned as I thought. Okay, what the fuck? This is actually really strange. Like, what is this doing here? What the fuck, man? That's something. There's a lot to see here. Many buildings, many floors, doors. Especially this room, that it looks like it came out of a horror movie or video game. Doesn't this remind you so much of Ghostwire Tokyo? Like, what the fuck? This looks completely insane. Like if not even gravity entered here. Just look at this. Wires everywhere. Pieces of frame and ceilings hanging everywhere. Legit. Like if not even time affected this place anymore. Places like this, they don't just fade away. The screams, the whispers, the pain it lingers, buried in brick, stitched into the silence. I came here looking for answers, but what I found instead felt like a memory that wasn't mine. They say no one ever truly leaves Letchworth. Not the ones who lived here, and maybe not even those who visit. I will be back.